All right, we're going to give this another try. Take two. So, welcome to the Healing Essence Facebook public page. For those who are just joining us for the first time, my name is Shanita Williams, and momentarily we are going to invite one of our other moderators here to the group so that they can join with us. All right, it looks like the second time is working. So here we go. So welcome, Miss Akima Williams. Can
But
you hear?
Charlie, I ain't been Williams for over a decade, girl.
Yeah, that's right. You're not Akima Williams. I am Williams. So thank you for those bearing with us. We were, even though you practice, right? Sometimes technology just is not our friend. So welcome,
Hey,
welcome,
listen,
welcome.
it's all good. Before we, I think, get started, I know we've got a few folks who do follow this page, so thank you guys and share with your friends. We want to share this around because there's so many different people and so many different, I think, spaces who want to know this. So I'm just doing a little bit of sharing from my computer. So if you see my eyes float, it's not to disregard you all. It's just to make sure that those who do want an opportunity to see this live get that. I know, the awkward silence.
That's okay. Well, while you go ahead and share it, I'll just kind of briefly introduce myself. For those who have not seen me before, my name is Shanita Williams. Been a Williams for quite some time. I am a wife of almost 15 years, homeschool mom of three. I have a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 4-year-old. I have been using essential oils, particularly with Young Living, for a little over a year and a half. And I am completely amazed at some of the things that I have seen be healed in my body, some things in my children's body. And so, one of the things that we really didn't understand about just some of these things that are in nature and how, the body is really fighting for this homeostasis position. It just wants to be in balance. And sometimes with our diet, our work schedules, family life, lack of all of the above, it's hard to really maintain, a completely, very, very energetic, very busy, very active life. So I think with diet changes and some other things, it's kind of helped us along this natural journey. So my entire family is on the natural journey. It's not just me. I bring the products in the house. I pump them full of the vitamins, pump them full of the oils. And so here we are. So
Boom. All right. So listen, I totally was listening. So sorry my eyes are off the screen. For those who don't know, Akima Bachali, a lot of times you'll see Princess Akima because that's what Akima means. It's not, I'm not full of it. That's actually just what my name means and what my parents opted to share about their little princess. I am the owner of Princess Akima Holistic Care. Sorry, I'm getting super excited about people joining us and watching. And I have been using Young Living oil since October of 2017. Sorry, it feels like it's been so much longer, Shanita. I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel like I've been using them forever.
I know.
And I can't even, sorry, there's going to be a bit of a delay. So if we talk over each other, I apologize. I don't actually know life without these oils anymore. They have integrated themselves so much into my daily wellness, my daily routine, my beauty products, my perfume and cologne collections for my husband and I. So yeah. Oh, so I am happily married, almost 11 years. Last name used to be Williams, like my sister-in-law here. Yeah, so we're just super excited to, this is just an intro video, so I just want to like reassure everyone, a lot of our personal relationships have been getting the benefit of us sharing and talking about these oils, probably to the point of driving them crazy, but we have found so much stuff that is just like, ugh. So it's like, once you find a good thing, you want to tell everyone about it because you want people to avoid any sort of I don't know, just issues or things that we can prevent. Some things we're not going to have any control over. And guess what? That's just a part of the life that we got to coast through and look for lots of grace and lots of prayer to get through. And then there are lots of things that we actually have control over. And I feel like for me, with these oils coming into my life and really getting some of the stuff that I didn't need to be a part of my life, it has brought a lot more control to a lot of things, related to my health and to my wellness.
Awesome.
And so with that, I actually, this is like some things, you can like, oh, I know this and I got it committed. I really want to read something for folks because it'll help you to understand like why we're so excited, why we're always talking about it. I know a lot of you all who follow Shanita, who see her, she's like constantly talking about stuff. I'm talking about it on my educational platforms. We run private educational groups, and it's like, why? Well, here's one of the big whys. So we're excited about essential oils and their uses with things like cancer. Hello, somebody. Infertility, lots of other health challenges that we just kind of take as a norm. There's no time like right now to be like, hey, I could stop and I can kick things like nasty, harmful chemicals. One of the things that we try to make sure and educate people on is that chemicals are in everything. So even the oils we're going to talk about today, guess what? They're chemicals. But you know what? There's a difference between chemicals that are going to actually work in tandem and in synchrony with your body. And then there's going to be chemicals that are going to do what? Not work with synchrony, and they're going to disrupt your system, and they make you more susceptible to illness and to disease. So yeah, we just want to I just wanted to kind of share that because we want to be doing things that are going to be supporting our body rather than doing things that are going to be harming our body. Real quickie, if you guys are making comments, we're going to try our best while we're going live to respond to things. And then if you make a comment afterwards, just want to say that we'll respond to you afterwards. We don't want our video to go forever long. So just wanted to say that if we don't respond during the live, we will respond. But please post your comments and your questions, especially if you're an oiler and you have something to contribute to this. Um, so let's talk about what are essential oils. So essential oils are considered the lifeblood of the plant. They are pulled from plants, okay? So they're not created in some sort of like factory. They are distilled and they are pulled from plants, and they are the things that help the plants to live. And regardless of what your belief system is, I think we can all agree that plants are have been given to us to sustain us and to support us, because like anytime you take a plant, whether you are eating a plant, whether you are using an essential oil that is derived from a plant, you are going to feel better. You're going to be living healthier. The oils, they're pulled from the stem, the leaves, the bark, the fruit. One of the things that I love is that, not just like, oh, we eat the inside of a fruit. Well, you can get essential oils from like the outside of the fruits and the rinds and all these different places. And they are steam distilled. If you want information about that, please holler at our friend Google. But steam distillation is what happens to get the oils from the plants. And then plants do help to protect us from disease, and they provide nutrients. And so that's just super important because, again, there's so many things environmentally that are out there. So if you have access to something that can help you to prevent disease because you are giving your body what it needs to function the way it's been designed to do, like, why wouldn't we just access that? So yeah, so we have tons of information. We're gonna kind of run back and forth, but I'm gonna kick this back over to Shanita to give us a little bit more background on not just oils, but why we use Young Living's oils.
Right. So a lot of you guys may have, may be familiar with essential oils. Sometimes you can see them in the grocery stores, even in natural whole food stores, big box, discount stores. And so one of the first things that people say to me, well, why do I need to be with the organization for essential oils? Why can't I just pick them up from, the local Five
All the
Below
time.
or just discount stores,
Oh God.
And
I
so
was in Five Below yesterday, sorry, and they definitely had oils. I was cringing.
they do. And so, my motto is when you know better, you do better, right? And so one of the things that really attracted me to Young Living was the quality of the essential oils. Young Living has a seed to seal guarantee and promise. It's not just a company slogan. It is really something that the company and, the founder and his wife really want to make sure that from the seed that's picked to put in the ground to grow the plant before it's, harvested and distilled, they want to make sure it's the creme de la creme from start to finish. And so they abide by very strict guidelines to fulfill that promise to all of us, to, their members, their retail customers, wholesale customers as well. One of the good things that, in research, I found Young Living owns many of their farms. And I didn't see that with a lot of other essential oil companies. A lot of the other companies will outsource it, third party source some of that distillation, some of the quality control procedures. So when you have and I was in quality control, in my previous life. And so when you have someone that has that kind of high standard from something as simple as a plant seed, then it just gave me the assurity that this was a company that really took it serious. They never use harmful chemicals in their crops. They don't use pesticides. They don't use herbicides and those kind of things. They only will source from the best seeds, and they harvest at peak times to maximize on the quality. So there are certain plants that harvest better at night. There are certain plants that harvest better right before the day breaks. And so just understanding that you have a team of people harvesting nothing but the best. We know how, as for those of us who are parents, you want your kids to have the best. You want to feed them the best. You want them to be in the best sports. You want them to go to the best schools, or if you homeschool like me, you want them to have the best education. And so just seeing a company that just aligned itself so much with my own personal quality standards, for my own life. They distill on site, again, another thing that you don't find in many other companies. At any given time, you can call Young Living and say, hey, I would like to come visit the farms out in Utah and take a tour. Sure, come on a Tuesday. As long as you can get your plane ticket and get out there, it's perfectly acceptable.
And it's not only Tuesday.
And it's not only Tuesday,
Just
but
for
they're fully accountable. And you call some of our other competitors, you won't get that same response. They test every batch multiple times to assure that it is the most purest of quality. And they are very, they're bottled with care. And so that's one of the things that, why Young Living matters, why it matters to get your oils from a source that will promise you from the seed to seal and packaging that it is fully organic. We just had our and we'll go into the different types of oils, but our Vitality line, which is our line that is safe for ingesting, finally be approved for the little GMO sticker, non-genetic modification. And so that's really good to know as well. So, it takes a while to, kind of run rough with the federal standards to get the approval.
And that doesn't mean that they were genetically modified before, like Shanita was saying. It just takes a while. And the thing I appreciate, just to chime in, sorry, Shanita, is that I just appreciate that they're willing to go through the hoops. They're like, you know what? Like, you got to play with the big boys. You got to go through their hoops. And so it's like, okay, we'll do what we have to do from a legal standpoint, from the ground and the planning. I'm not a farmer, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, they did, and they were willing to go to bat so that they can get that kind of like seal of approval. And that continues to bring, I think, peace of mind to those of us who use it for the different reasons that we do.
Absolutely. So, and long story short, I said all that to say, just remember, everyone, not all essential oils are created equal. Young Living, they're very committed to the quality, and they take it very seriously. And so when you understand that Young Living is pure therapeutic grade, which means it's safe for ingesting, it's safe to apply topically, it's safe to diffuse aromatically. Some other companies might be a grade B or grade C, which means it's not verified organic. They may be cut with other chemicals and solvents to kind of stretch it out. And then when you get all the way down to what's called, they consider it trash water or floor water. So pretty much like a hydrosol. So sometimes you can go places and just get a hydrosol spray, which is pretty much just a floral part of what's left after everything is distilled and they've extracted the pure plant juice. Some people will sell those things. So not all oils are created equal. And if you have more questions about Seed to Seal, again, we will go back and link the Seed to Seal promise in a video where you can check it out more. So moving right along, I kind of already talked about the usage. The three main ways to use essential oils are topically, which is putting them on your skin after diluting. You want to dilute with the carrier oil because you want to kind of slowly introduce your body to
Mhm.
essential oils. The essential oils are very, very potent. And so when it's going into your system for the first time, and let's say you are not one that have been mindful of the toxins with the shampoo and the food and those kind of things, sometimes you can have a reaction that you may think, oh, well, I can't use oils because it made me have a headache. Well, that's not what that means. So you want to put carrier oil on there to kind of slowly introduce your system to this pure therapeutic molecule. And over time, there are some things you may not have to use the carrier oil for. Go ahead, Akeem. I saw you want to chime in.
I think that's better than me trying to talk over you because there's a delay. But I love the idea of the carrier oil because I was just, as you were talking, I was like, everything we do, like everything in this life is just a push, push, push until you just like fall apart. And so even the idea of using that carrier oil, a fattier oil to help slow up the absorption, because though these bodies are resilient and you have been created and designed to heal. Everyone who knows me knows I'm constantly like, the body has been designed to heal. We know that because when we get a cut, we watch the body heal right before our eyes. Magic, right? And but we push our bodies so much, we disrespect them, and they are constantly like just being pushed beyond what they need to be doing. So use your carrier oils. Don't feel like, oh man, I'm just gonna do my thing with my oils and my body can just take it, or oh, it's okay if it's a little sensational. Like, why do that when most of those carrier oils are just a couple of dollars? I just thought, like,
Right.
just be kind to yourself, take care of yourself.
Yes, be nice to your body. It's the only one you'll get. All right. The second and most common way that people will use essential oils is to use it aromatically in a diffuser. And so I don't know if you can kind of see my diffuser going on in the
Ooh,
background.
that one's pretty.
Yes, that's the lantern diffuser. And that to me helped my home because we're people who love scents. We love smell. We just love fragrance and we just love all those things. And so once I realized how dangerous plug-ins and candles and those things that emit carcinogens in the home and causes respiratory issues, I was like, well, I need my house to smell like pleasant. And so diffusing is such a great alternative to that. The last way, and this is not something that you can do with very many other essential oil companies, which is to take the oils internally. Because Young Living oils are safe to ingest, there are dietary instructions on oils that have white labels. And again, we'll go into that in a little more detail. So, for example, I have a bottle here of what is called thieves oil. And I will take this when I'm feeling a little scratchy in my throat or a little bit under the weather. I'll put a few drops of this in my green tea in the morning. So I'm also getting the benefits of it, ingesting it into my body, inhaling it through a diffuser, and even with jewelry, you can wear them on jewelry, diffuser bracelets. They have earrings, typically like leather or, leather. I'm not sure about wood, but I know leather is one of the ones where you can just
Mhm.
kind of put drops on your earrings. And again, just having that fragrance in your just area all day long. But
Mhm.
also you want to be mindful of safety with using essential oils. And you say, well, they're all natural and they're all plant. If they're all non-genetically modified and organic, well, why do I need to have safety rules? Well, there are rules for a reason. And so one of the things you want to make sure you do is you always dilute with a carrier oil, especially when it's your first time, and especially with children, babies. We can go ahead and link later in the comment section some dilution ratios. But when you're introducing infants and babies and toddlers to essential oils, the safest place for you to put them on is on the bottoms of their feet. You start there and then you kind of wait and then you test more and see. There is no
Mhm.
complete quadratic formula for this oil and this drops for this particular child's skin. We're all different. God made us all unique. So just make sure you start with children where? On the feet.
On the feet.
Exactly.
And a little plug with that too. Two things I'll say with kids, like the benefit for them is that they haven't spent, I don't know how many decades everyone's been alive, but some of us are older and younger, and their systems haven't had an opportunity to be corrupted and filled with so much junk. And so you'll see this even if you end up using oils for your pets, which is a whole nother video, but just like it will go through their system much quicker. So a little bit, and because these oils are so potent and they're not, as Shanita has like, said over and over, they haven't been watered down. They don't need a lot. And there's on the bottoms of the feet, something else for you to go do a search on. There are Vitaflex points on the bottoms of your feet. You have other points on the body, but that's a really good place to start. So even for adults, you can see benefits of putting oils on your feet, but definitely with kids, go to the bottoms of their feet. So
Very good. Thank you for that addition. Also, you want to make sure you don't get your oils near your mucous membranes, your eyes, your nose, inside of your ear canal. Like those are just places you don't want to do. Um, Also,
we'll
some
have
of
a funny
the
story later about that. Or I have a story later.
some of the citrus oils are can be photosensitive, so you don't want to put on a whole bunch and then go directly into the sun. So for me at night, one of my nightly routines is I'll take some lemon oil. Again, we'll go through each oil, in a moment, but I'll put a couple of drops on this jade roller ball and just
Perfect.
kind of help my lymphatic system just kind of get a little roll up. I'm not going to do this now because then my whole face will get flushed and red because it's very cold. Um, and make sure everyone, every oil, even within Young Living, has different application methods. Some it'll say put on your wrist, some it'll say put on your
Mhm.
lower abdomen, some will say put on your lower back, some will say diffuse. So you want to make sure that you are reading the directions, even for things that are natural. We want to make sure, safety first.
Safety first, and also so that you're just aware of like you may have been thinking, oh, I only use my lavender to make my house smell good, but then you may read on the bottle and find, which we're going to go into, like, oh, lavender actually has like all these other uses and benefits. And so reading, as we know, is fundamental. Reading rainbow, we've been told this since we were children, all that good jazz. But like, read your labels. And I have been a I've had firsthand experience not reading some of my labels at times, and like not accessing the benefits of the products by just thinking that you know stuff. So it's a humbling thing to read a label. Read your labels.
Good. So once you guys, are ready after this video and you're ready for your starter kit, we're not going to leave you hanging. We have a separate private Facebook education group where we go into lots of product
Mhm.
description. Our public page is just kind of an introduction to who we are and what we do, but we will not leave you on your own. We will walk through each oil with you and how you can use it. So don't worry about that. So we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to jump right into the next
It
oil.
wasn't a waste. It was really good information. And I just want to do another quick plug to say hello. We're talking here, but I'm watching on my computer. I see a lot of folks have joined us. So thank you guys so much. For anyone who, like, what did these girls share on their page? Well, we're sitting here talking about natural wellness, incorporating the use of not only just essential oils, but Young Living's oils, and why we specifically use them to support our families, our friends, our pets, and everyone that we come into contact with. So if you're jumping in now, just make sure later you go back to the beginning, because there was lots of good information shared. I also, and I know Shanita has her a prop or a book in front of her that I don't have in front of me, so I'm not about to get up and go find my book. But I just want to plug LSP, which stands for Life Science Publishing. They are a third party that does a lot of research on the Young Living essential oils, and so like I really appreciate them because they don't have like a bias. They just like, hey, they just do the research on the oil. So we may end up I'm sorry, I keep popping over here. Distractions. We may end up sharing certain things about the oils, but we always want to make sure that we do our own research. Life Science Publishing, they have tons of resources, and I have tons of their books at both at home and my office, because it's just like I want to know all the things. So just like all the things, I do want to apologize to you in advance that you are not sitting here where I am, because we're getting ready to start talking about all of the oils. And so I will be smelling oils and enjoying their benefits. But hopefully, if you're not already using oils for wellness, we are illuminating some things for you that may want you to be like, hey, I want to jump on and do that too. I want to support my family, my own wellness in this particular way. So, as Shania said, without further delay, and I'm not good about this camera thing, so y'all bear with me, okay? I'm gonna try to hold things up and do all the little cute things, but if it's a glare in your camera, y'all just gonna y'all be patient with the sister, okay? um, there is no rhyme or reason. So Young Living puts together for everyone to get started. You can start in different ways, but they've set it up that you get started in a particular way so that you have a good foundation. You know, you're not kind of left out there like, oh, just take this one thing and then come back and see me when something else isn't good. You know, some
Mhm.
places do stuff like that, right? Well, they have this like really beautiful kit. And I'm not gonna open this box right now, but I just want to show everyone this really beautiful kit. And inside of there, you find 12 different essential oils that they're saying, hey, this is your starter kit. Emphasis on the word starter. Thank you. Yeah, she's probably good with the product and the holding. And I'm just probably a little bit better with the talking. So, you know, you can bounce off of one another, but you can see, and you can see that there's 10 and the box is deep. So there's other oils, other little samples, other things that come with it. But these oils are specifically put in here and that they help. So we're just going to kind of toggle and kind of talk through them a little bit. But the first one that we want to talk about is lavender. And most of us know, where's my camera? There it is. Yeah, that's not going to be all that helpful, but this is lavender. And like I told you, I'm going to snip all my oils because because why not? Okay. So you'll hear lavender a lot of times because, like, who doesn't love the smell of lavender? If you ever walk through a lavender field, you know how nice that is. Well, we want to harness the benefits of all the oils, but sticking with lavender, and we're not spending our days outside. You know, most of our time is spent indoors, inside your house, inside your offices, inside your car, wherever you are. So utilizing an oil like lavender, which is known as the Swiss Army knife of all of your oils, is just like super awesome. Obviously, it is very relaxing. So it's one of those oils that's going to support for good night's sleep. For my folks who have been getting their Zyto scans, which would be another day's video, you know how important our sleep is to like all the restoration that needs to happen and the quality of the sleep that you're getting. Because you know, you may think, oh well, I sleep through the night, and some people don't sleep through the night. You know, we kind of get used to certain things happening. Whole time your body could be saying, hey, I may want a little bit of help and support in this. And lavender is a really good one. There's no shame or whatever the word might be to support your body in the way that it needs to be supported. Helping to calm down like hyper, you know, children, getting them to kind of calm down at night. I've heard testimonies from parents about that. Calming you down in a situation that may otherwise have you worked up. You know, if you're having something going on mentally, emotionally, and you feel yourself kind of escalating, you can actually use your essential oils, which are teeny tiny little molecules, to help you yourself calm down, even in your awake hours. I mentioned sleep because that's how often it is used, but it has so many uses. I think one of the hidden gems too, and Sinead, if you have something to add on lavender after this, I'll stop, is that lavender is so good for our skin. So you'll see a lot of times in a lot of the Young Living products, lavender is a key ingredient with beauty products, things for the lips. And I'm thinking, man, all these years I knew about lavender, I wasn't putting it on my skin. I wasn't putting it on my lips. It smelled good. And so that's what your focus was on. Whole time, lavender was like, hey, Swiss Army knife, I can do this, I can do that. And so you have all these different options. But just if you want that spa-like feel, like, hey, lavender. So,
Yeah, I think one of the main benefits that I have come to use lavender for is for cardiovascular support. And I'm gonna do this my best and remain in compliance. Um, but I've had some family history of cardiovascular illnesses that have gone on, and so as a preventative measure for me, it's something that I have to be very mindful of. Some things are genetic, and some things, just poor choices. Those first 4 decades, didn't really do me too well. So I use it a lot for cardiovascular support and regulating,
mhm.
those body systems. And so for me, I like to put a lot on my wrist and anywhere kind of you can feel like pulsating, where you can find your pulse is where I normally will put the lavender oil as well. And it's been really great. So I'll share that a little bit.
Did you talk about compliance when you were talking before? If not, I can just give some definition to why we
Go
said that
ahead. You
just
can,
now.
we did not, but go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So you talk so much. I know you gave so much rich information. I wanted to make sure I wasn't repeating. So the idea with compliance, as with most things, as with even how we have to present our video today, there's a lot of things that our government here in the U.S., wants to make sure it's like vetted upon vetted upon vetted, you know. And so a lot of times with things that are more, you know, natural, the, you know, peer reviews and those things, you know, they haven't been done yet, even though you may hear tons of personal testimony until it's like in um the labs and until they can like vet it and there's laws and all those things. And so because of that, the FDA um kind of prohibits some of the things that we might know to be true, because the research isn't there to back it yet. And so I just, and it's, yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that. So
Okay.
I just wanted to,
Yeah.
for those who don't know, when she says like, well, make sure I'm being compliant, because she's had some other experiences with using the lavender oil, as with most of our oilers, they do, but there's just a way in which we have to share. And so just know that's why we referenced earlier looking at some of those third parties, because they have a little bit more research to back up what they're saying. So just wanted to share that.
Good. Thank you for that bit of info. So let's move
Oh,
to
sorry,
our
can I
next.
do a plug? Your brother just jumped on. Just, I know a lot of people are watching, but your brother just jumped on.
My brother.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Greg. Um, so next oil I have here is lemon. You guys can see it's a little blurry, but you can see. And again, you see the difference. This is the white vitality label. So lemon oil is very good for it's supporting your liver, your lymphatic system, and your immune system. So remember, I told you one of my nightly routines is put a drop or two on my jade roller ball to kind of just help with
That's
that
nice.
lymphatic system and just
I
roll around
want one
like
of
that.
those. Sorry, my birthday, Leo season, they said started today. So I'm just like, y'all thinking about birthday gifts. Y'all give me a jade roller like Shanita's. I want
So
one of those.
this is really good. It's also good to put these in a drop of your water. So sometimes when you go to the restaurant, they ask you, "Do you want lemon in your water?" You know, after people have fangled up the lemons and touched the skin and then drop them into your water, just I can't do that anymore. So I travel with this, put a couple of drops into my water. One thing to note about citrus oils is that they are they're very, very potent, and you want to make sure that you're using glass if you're drinking water or a beverage, or a hydro flask and stainless steel. Even if you're making DIY products, you don't want to put any citrus oils in plastic, because over time it can start to eat away at the plastic, and we don't want that. And I've actually had a personal experience with trying to use lemon oil in hot water in a styrofoam cup, because I just wanted some hot lemon water and they didn't have the tea that I liked, and it ate around the plastic, and hot water like just spilled everywhere. So anyway, but you definitely we're only going to tell you what we know from experience. We don't want you to repeat what we've done. But one of the things about the vitality oils is great for ingesting. It's also great for cooking. So we have a few members who are really trying to figure out their niche with using the oils for cooking. You can marinate chicken. You can make your guacamole with lemon. We have lime oil as well. You can make salad dressings. I mean, just all kind of things. But just make sure it's glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. You don't want it to interact with the plastic and then be ingesting those things, because then we're going to have to do something else to detox your liver from ingesting plastics. Okay, next one.
All right, and I'm sorry, I'm sharing the video again, but I'm surely paying attention. So our next oil that we're gonna go over is Thieves. Now, you don't know Thieves because like you may like Thieves. That's a proprietary name to Young Living. So I'm going to read the ingredients. Now I don't know the ratios. They're not telling me the ratios. But inside of Thieves, you have clove, lemon, which Shanita mentioned, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, and rosemary. So you may know some individual uses for some of those oils, and I know a bunch are rolling through my head right now. But this particular blend, so Thieves is going to be your immune system support. And I know it's like, well, didn't she say that about lemon? Yeah, but does my immune system only get supported through one way? Absolutely not. It is listen, y'all, it's the truth. I just actually don't know how to say it. And I know she needed to mention this when she was talking about oils at the beginning about like vitality versus not. So she showed lemon just now, and also with the Thieves, they're in white label. So these are a part of the vitality line. So what did we learn earlier? That means that you can ingest this. So you can diffuse this, you can apply this topically with your carrier oil, and you can take it internally. So of course with that clove and that cinnamon, you can imagine the aroma. You can imagine, speaking about aroma, sorry, I said I was gonna be sniffing on my bottles. I'm gonna be high on my own supply before this video's over, y'all. But Yeah, thieves is just like everything immune system. And so it's just so important that we don't like wait. Now, could you grab this if you felt something was coming on? I mean, of course, we can always grab something when something is coming on, but we don't have to live our lives waiting for the thing to happen and then we respond to it. You know, you have this beautiful opportunity to use thieves proactively to support your immune system. A little bit behind the name, and I kind of like telling this story, so in the name of trying to keep the video short, I'm probably missing it right here. But during the I'm just saying, you know, this was during, I'm going to say, the bubonic plague. There were robbers who were stealing like jewelry and such off of dead bodies, where other people were catching this plague. Like if they went near the bodies, they breathed in like whatever crap was coming off of these bodies, they were getting sick, but these robbers, they weren't, you know. And so when they eventually got caught, they, for a lighter sentence, kind of gave up the goods, like, hey, what are you all doing to not get sick? And so they shared, hey, I'm using, you know, clove and cinnamon, because, you know, these oils are way, way before our lifetime. This isn't like, oh, you know, we just started this in America, you know, 25 years ago. For you all who don't know, Young Living just turned 25. Okay. But no, not at all. These have been before our time and will be after our time, because these are these plants that, you know, are continuing to grow. So anyway, they gave up the goods on that. So if you're wondering, well, why would they use a name like thieves? Isn't thieves like a bad thing? Yeah, if you stealing from people, it's a bad thing. But if you're using the thieves, the blend, it's a good thing. And one of the things I love about Young Living, aside from just like the oil that you can purchase in the bottle, they have an entire line of thieves. So they have like a cleaning line and laundry and just like dishwashing such. So you are being able to cleanse your home, cleanse your space, while also getting these immune system support like boosters that are happening. So it's a win-win for me, but yay thieves. But it's very, and it's interesting too, because it comes in the starter kit, and my husband actually, you know, uses this as cologne because he likes all that kind of like cinnamon and clove kind of smell. Something about, I think, like the fall. But it's just like super nice to use. So
It's definitely the
some
fall season. It smells like baked apple pie. And so definitely in the fall, my birthday's in September, so I definitely diffuse a lot of this. Another little plug for thieves. I was out and had like some throbbing in my gums. I don't know if it was just tooth pain or something. And I was like, I don't know what I have, but I remember reading somewhere that, chewing on like cloves, like, the little clove that grandma used to put in the ham, around holidays. I remember reading somewhere that that could help with, tooth discomfort, tooth pain, and that kind of stuff. And so, but I remembered that there was clove and cinnamon in the Thieves blend. So I took a little bit, rubbed it on my finger, rubbed it across my gum, and it went numb like Novocaine. And
mm, yep.
within 2 or 3 minutes, that pulsating that was going on in my gums had ceased. So this is another
How
one
about that?
that I keep in my pocket, in my purse,
Mhm.
with me at all times. I had
I
a
was
root
thinking,
canal
I know we have,
done.
I apologize. I didn't want you to jump to the next oil. I started thinking about your mother. So for you all who don't know, Miss Angie Gold, which if you can follow her on Facebook and Instagram. But she always, when she travels, and I'm gonna try to replicate this kind of bootleg. All I got is like my little camera wipe off thing. But she wears scarves around her neck, and she puts the thieves on her scarf. So when you ever been on a plane and like it's a real closed and tight space, and then you hear somebody just start hacking, and you're just like, I know I'm about to breathe this in. Like I know it's coming. I ain't got it's coming. It's coming. So she always, every time she go, and I flew with her we flew as a family in May, and I saw it firsthand. Like, nope, y'all not about to get me sick up on this plane. So she's very proactive. So I wanted to plug her hack of putting it on like your
Yeah.
scarf, and you can just cover yourself and breathe it in, and it's going to benefit other people around you as well. It's not an offensive oil, so it's not like, oh man, am I going
Right.
to disrupt the person next to me? Like, I don't, unless somebody just hates cinnamon. So
Right.
I
And
don't
who
know.
hates cinnamon? Nobody hates cinnamon. So, okay, our next oil we have here is peppermint. Let's come on
Mm-hmm.
this
And
side.
I'm gonna show mine while you show yours, because we could talk
Perfect.
about something nice here.
Right. So you see her bottle had a white label, my bottle does not. And so the FDA has informed Young Living that we had to create a separate line of oils that was safe for ingesting, which is why we've called it the Vitality line. So if you have a Vitality oil, which is the white bottle, and you have one that looks just like this, same name, It is the exact same formula, the exact same blend, drop for drop. There is no difference. But in order to remain compliant again with our wonderful friends over in the federal regulation departments, we wanted to make sure that we remain compliant. Peppermint is really good for aiding in digestion. Digestion starts in the mouth, and so I know a lot of people who will just go ahead and put a drop under their tongue just to kind of get things going and moving. I'm not that bold. The first time I tried to use peppermint internally in my tea, I think I put 4 or 5 drops in my cup of tea, and when I brought the cup like right here, my eyes started to water. So I learned my lesson with that one. It's a very potent one. That's a one dropper. But it has definitely helped curb a little bit of, nausea, just that unsettled feeling in your stomach, little queasiness. It helps with achy muscles. But if you really do like the smell of peppermint, you would really appreciate this in a cup of tea. Now, a difference between Young Living peppermint and a peppermint that you may find in a box store. The one in the box store is going to smell very sweet. It's going to smell like those little church peppermint candies that the church mothers would give you. This does not smell like that. This does not smell like that. So if you have a peppermint oil that smells just like candy canes, 9 times out of 9.5, it is going to be diluted and cut with probably a sweet, fragrant carrier oil, like a sweet almond oil or things like
Like
that.
sweet almond, yep. Which I love sweet almond oil. Now, don't get me wrong. I like some almond oil. However,
Okay, you're up next.
okay, so I told you earlier I had a story to share about an oil when she was talking about safety and usage. Let me tell you, when you get your kit, do not, capital D, capital M, put peppermint in your eye, because if you've ever had like a near death experience, and I'm not like trying to come for anybody who has actually had a near death experience, but in my, I guess, sheltered life, it was probably the closest thing to like a panic situation that I've ever had. Getting peppermint in your eye, because the thing about, oh, I got something in my eye, I'm gonna go what? Flush my eye with water. Let me tell you how water don't help flush that peppermint out your eye. I usually almost have to sit still and like kind of like, we shall overcome. I mean, you literally like the carrier oil, you rubbing it in your eye, you're just doing all the things. When she says stay away from them little mucus membranes, keep peppermint away from your eye. Now, people use peppermint a lot for head tension, and you're thinking, oh, my head hurts right here. I'm gonna just put the oil here. Well, let me tell you, that oil might trickle down and get in your eye. Keep peppermint away. You take that peppermint and you go to where? The back of your neck, where your skull and your spine decide to come together, and you rub it back there. And then you know what you do next? You go wash your hands, please, okay? Even better is it, and she had it on her thieves bottle, I believe. You have a roller on there.
Yeah.
So I don't have any of my bottles with a roller, but hers has a different top. So you're thinking, hey, well, don't they come like this? When you get your kit, you get a couple of those, and then I always tell oilers to get additional ones so that you can just pop those rollers on it. So you're not having to actually touch the oil, but you can put the oil on your person where you want it. So that's for topical application. But look, just say no to peppermint near the eyes. I just wanted to, I cannot stress that enough, my friends. Okay. And we're not trying to set nobody up. So, next
Right.
one, which this is like this, I could talk about this oil and we could stop the video right here, but we have others to go through. So this is frankincense, guys. Frankincense is like the king of all essential oils. A lot of you are like, oh yeah, I know that. Like I know that. Well, no, do you know that frankincense is the king of all essential oils? It is like it's amazing, guys. Like it has been, all the way back to biblical times. Again, like I said, regardless of what you believe, this oil was here before me. This oil gonna outlive me. This stuff right here, it's just amazing. Like you can probably use it on
I literally, I wow.
use it on how to sit still.
Oh, like, sorry, guys. This is why you shouldn't be doing 2 things at once.
It's okay. I'm doing the same thing. I just have my volume turned down on my computer. It's no big deal. A little bit of screaming just to get everybody's attention, okay?
Just to
But
make sure y'all still with us.
just to make sure they're still with us. But you can use frankincense for literally anything. The 2 things that I'll highlight, and then I encourage you all to do some additional research with frankincense, is one, it's really good for like grounding and centering. And so as we talk about things like prayers, we talk about things like meditation, just, like, oh man, I can't stay focused. I can't meditate for longer than a minute. You know what I mean? Like, you just find yourself kind of like, oh, and how many, cows jumped over the moon, and you just find yourself kind of getting kind of spacey because everything in life is so fast. It can be hard for us to still ourselves. I like to use that for that purpose of just kind of grounding, meditation, stilling myself. The other good thing, and this is a beauty hack, men and women, but ladies, frankincense is a good beauty hack, and you will see this again when you're looking through the Young Living products because they do more than just oils, guys. And we're just talking about oils today. They do like everything, so you can like overhaul your home and overhaul your life. But frankincense is a really good one for beauty, be it putting it on. And we typically tend to spend so much more time and emphasis talking about our face. I mean, all of our skin needs loving and attention, but helping to, with a more youthful appearance, frankincense is really, really good for that. And I can't stress enough when you get your kit, please go easy on this, okay? It's a very valuable oil for you to keep in your repertoire. And so where you may find yourself running through your like citrus oils quicker, then do that. With frankincense, it'd be like one drop and just one little drop here, one little something here. Use your carrier oil, but frankincense is like the bomb.com. And I've just gotten so many testimonies from the oilers that are part of our team who are just like, oh, I put frankincense for everything. So
No, that's a good. Just definitely frankincense is one you want to really monitor your usage. All right, the next oil we have, and I apologize I don't have it in front of me, is Panaway. And Panaway, thank you. If you notice,
oh,
it has a different
I'm not gonna
top
do that.
than the other one. If you can hold it next to another one, it has more of a child-proof top, and that is because it has the oil wintergreen in it. And wintergreen smells just like the Lifesaver candy, like the wintergreen peppermint type stuff. And so we know that fragrance is very good smelling to kids. And so we don't want kids to kind of overindulge with this one. So too much wintergreen on the little tummies
I'm not a kid.
can
I'm over here like.
can cause havoc. But Panaway is really great for soothing your muscles and joints before or after exercise. I've been walking with my neighbor for a while, and we started to kind of pick up our pace. And we're walking on concrete and regular pavement. And after several weeks, I started to get really, really just crampy shins and just pain and tightness. And so I came in and I grabbed some coconut oil, put a couple of drops of the Panaway on, rubbed it on, massaged it in. The next day when I went walking, I put it on before to kind of give my body and my musculoskeletal
Mhm.
system some support before, and then did it as well after I got out the shower. Noticed a big difference. So this is good for, if you're dreading going to the gym, that fragrance can kind of really wake you up. Again, if you kind of woke up with a little stiff neck, you slept wrong, the pillow was too bulged up, you just need kind of that little relief. It has a very familiar smell to some of the over-the-counter products that you probably grew up using, and so that's always
Mhm.
nice to have that kind of muscle memory smell, right? And
Mhm.
so
Mhm. It's very familiar. Very familiar.
right, so if you
Something that
want
your grandparents might have rubbed on themselves
there you go.
without all the harmful
And
chemicals, of
without
course.
all the harmful chemicals. So if you're really, really wanting a boost, you can combine this with a little bit of more peppermint and massage knees, joints, ankles. I have a lot of sciatic issues going on, so I use it for just kind of supporting those areas as well.
Mhm. And before sharing the next oil, sorry, I could just swallowed something down the wrong pipe there, guys. But I'm about to rub some oil on myself, so don't worry. Um, these oils aren't going to necessarily say, hey, you never have anything going on. So when Shanita said that just now, I was like, oh, that's actually a really good thing to say. But how we respond to the things that come up, the more tools you put into your wellness arsenal, the more you have to grab from when you are. So now, like if something comes up, and comes up can mean different things for different ones. But when something comes up, I have the tools because I'm constantly filling my wellness arsenal with the things that my body may need. And we're free to have this need here today, this need tomorrow, the next day I need something else because we're human and we go through things. And so whether I need something to support my physical body, to support my mental or emotional health, hello somebody, we need to support our body in all the ways that it needs to be supported. As I'm like mentioning like that cough in my throat, next oil is Raven. So trying to do my little thing. I'm not good with that piece, so y'all bear with. But this is Raven, and it has that same kind of top that Shanita mentioned, like Panaway does. So Raven is a blend. So some of the oils we've introduced are singles and some are blends. They all smell good, and I'm gonna sniff every single last one of them. But this one's a blend of Raven Sarah, lemon, wintergreen, peppermint, and eucalyptus. So you're thinking, oh, she was just talking about wintergreen. Those things sound familiar. Yes, you can use Raven for some of that musculoskeletal, but it takes it up a level because some of the other ones in there, like eucalyptus, help with respiratory system support. So when you think about, man, I don't want to go work out, sometimes it's not always because you're sleepy or you're being lazy. If you know that you're going to have a reaction that's like, I'm always gasping for air, and that's not always because of one reason or another. It could just be something that you just deal with, you know? Guess what? That just means your respiratory system is saying, hey, can I get a little bit of help over here? Can I get a little bit of support? And so having something, I don't mean to juvenilize everything. I always feel like our organs and body systems are like these little children that are like, help me, you know? But listen, it's cool because our body shows signs all the time. And if it needs help, guess what? I'm going to just make, run the audible on the play, make the adjustment, and do what we need to do. So, Raven, rubbing it on your throat, rubbing it over your lungs, and even to your back too. So we're talking about musculoskeletal system support as well as respiratory system support. And you can do that with the pre and post workout, but you can also do it at times where you're going to be putting more strain on your lungs. That could mean like, oh, the conditions outside and I'm going to be gasping for air more, different things that could be going on. Support your respiratory system. Raven is really, really, really good for that. Okay. And keeping it in a proactive stance, one, knowing your body, and also knowing the conditions, like where you're getting ready to participate in. And so it's like you don't have to be Superman or Superwoman out here. You can actually support your body so that it can function better. So yeah, and a little goes a long way, guys. Like 1 to 2 drops with the Raven. Okay, it doesn't need. It don't need like a whole bunch.
All right, the next one we have here is Peace and Calming. This one definitely it lives up to its name, and it is a blend of ylang ylang, orange, tangerine, patchouli, and blue tansy. And so this is really
Oof.
good to use at children's bedtime, grown-up bedtime, when you need that woosah moment because people are working your nerves on the job. I had this one in my pocket last week when I was working at a summer camp of 18, 10 to 12-year-old, mainly boys. And I just kept it just, I mean, wherever, just on. And so it's really good to apply to the wrist, inhale and diffuse. And again, this one, it really needs no further introduction because it really does live up to its name. I have a really cute story. I was meeting with a member, and the member had a dog in the home, and the dog had some serious like separation anxiety, and the dog was barking and like jumping out her hand. It's a little lap dog. And I said, well, let me try to give the dog a little aromatherapy experience. I put a little bit in my hand, rubbed my hands together, just held my hands out for the dog to come sniff and inhale. And I mean, the dog just stopped. The dog stopped the barking, it stopped the pacing back and forth. And it lasted for about a good 30, 40 minutes. And someone pulled up in the driveway and the dog started going again. And so this time I just took the same, I got some more oil. This time I just rubbed it from the crown of the dog's head to the tailbone, just kind of went in really soft motions, just like I was petting the dog. And I kid you not, I'm going to link the picture in the comment section. The dog just
Please.
fell out. The dog literally fell out on
Mhm.
the floor because he was that relaxed. And so this is really good. It's a good emotional oil as well to kind of just keep some of those,
Mhm.
as moms and as women, we just worry a lot and just sometimes our emotions can get out of sorts. This is a good oil for that as well.
Yep. I don't know if my cat knows you're talking about dogs and she's not liking it. And she also gets happy when I'm pulling out oil. So I literally had to like stop. So if you all saw me kind of going off, my cat is now at my feet because I'm opening up all these oils. So you'll be surprised how the different ones who live in your home, I'm in my home. So be it, your spouse, your kids, your animals, like they get used to like this whole new thing. So it's funny you brought the dog up just now. This next one is like really great. So, and my bottle looks a little toe up because my husband loves this oil. Well, this is Valor. And Valor is another one of our blends, and it just smells amazing. And this blue tansy coming back up again, so we keep hearing about blue tansy. But this one has black spruce, camphor, blue tansy, frankincense, hello, which we know is the king of all the oils, and geranium. Look, y'all can use other oils. Just know frankincense is like the bomb.com, okay? But it gets its name for helping to boost courage, confidence, and self-esteem. You're like, can an oil do that? Again, as we change our mindset towards like, it's not like, my emotions, toss them over here. My physical body, we toss it over here. And we have like this whole separatistness on how we think we flow and function rather than this inclusivity that recognizes like how I think is going to how I physically feel, and how I physically feel is going to have an impact on how I think and how I see myself. And so valor is like really good for helping to boost, hence its name. And so people may use it like before you have to speak. I'll do a shameless plug. I am speaking at an event in Baltimore, Maryland next month. Yes. So I will probably have my valor on beforehand, and maybe some peace and common diffusing during just to keep myself calm. And yeah, like using it, you can use your oils to support your physical wellness. You can also use it to support your emotional wellness and your mental wellness. And I will continue until the cows come home. And the ones that we try not to count at night because we're using our oils to sleep better, to encourage people to support your body in all the ways, you know. And I know that I think we live in a different age now where that's just more of a thing, and people are more conscious of supporting these different parts. So I love the idea of using an oil like Valor with those nerve-wracking times. That's going to be different. You know, everyone doesn't get nervous to do this thing, and everyone doesn't get nervous to do that thing. You may find the thing where you just want a little bit more strength and courage to kind of, I don't want my hands to shake. I don't want my voice shaking. You know, whatever. Your thing may be to go live on Facebook. You know, we may be like, yeah, let's go live, but if I got to speak in front of 1,500 people, I might be knocking my knees. You know, you know for yourself where those areas are. And so again, as we're doing all the things, a oil like this could just be really, really beneficial and helpful for you.
Good. All right, we're coming around third base here, guys. The next one we
Because we
have
have
is
three more.
Citrus Fresh.
Uh-oh, look at us. We didn't even plan to have the different bottles either, which is
Right.
funny to me.
So Citrus Fresh. So again, this is a Vitality one. Akima's is not a Vitality label, but it is the exact same blend. So Citrus Fresh is a blend of a lot of different citrus oils plus spearmint. So there's orange, tangerine, mandarin, grapefruit, lemon, and spearmint. It has a really bright aroma. This is really good in laundry. If you are using the wool dryer balls, if you have replaced the toxic dryer sheets and gone to the wool dryer balls, this is a really good fragrance to use. Also, I use a couple of these drops sometimes, in the kitchen sink. All the garbage food that goes into the garbage disposal. Over time, back before I knew better, I was a bleach girl and would always just pour bleach down the drain. But now I'll put a couple of drops of the Citrus Fresh and just to kind of give it a nice boost. And so it's really good. So it can be used for cooking as well, salads and marinades, that whole thing. You can add it as zest to chicken, salmon, and different gourmet dishes. But for me personally, I use this more for that clean, fresh, crisp smell in the house after cleaning.
Yeah. Cotton balls. I'm not sure if you mentioned putting it on cotton balls. You can, drop those like into like your shoes, the bottom of hampers and trash cans. Those places that you would normally spray some sort of quote unquote lemon scented or citrus scented thing. Them aerosol cans, y'all. Listen, just throw them away. They ain't cost no more than $2 or $3 if you can afford to. Please get them out your house. I have one more I'm going to share, then Shanita has one more oil she's going to share. This is Diagize, and I'm sorry that Diagize has gotten to the end of the list. It's just the order that we have, but Diagize deserves to be like amongst the conversation. It's not my favorite smelling oil. I'm not afraid to say that. Like, oh, all the oils smell aromatic. Diagize, let me tell you some of the things that are in there. Maybe you'll kind of get an idea of it, but it's tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, fennel, lemongrass, anise, and patchouli. And so for me, it smells like licorice. And I think I have some like PTSD from childhood, and licorice just wasn't my thing. And so I'm like, oh, well, who cares? Licorice don't have to be your thing because Diagize is the business, okay? Diagize, as the name suggests, it's Digize, Diagize, which sounds like digestion, which is good for your digestive system. Placing You can take it, as you can see, it comes in both the white and solid label. I have it as a white label is what comes in the starter kit, and you can use it all the ways. Now, I don't diffuse it all that much, but it is good for use both topically over the abdomen. Also, I've been getting some stories and testimonies from people who've been putting it like on the spine, and we'll go to a whole nother video of why we would put oils in our spine. We're not going to do that today. We'll wait till we have maybe a guest aromatherapist on or something and talk about that. But
Yeah, I like that idea.
yeah. And so it is good for your digestive system. And I want to say, though, we want to be more proactive with our health. I think that it's good and supportive, both proactive and as needed reactionary. I've just heard so many, and I've had my own personal testimonies of just being able to grab for it and use it to support my digestive system in lieu of some of the things that would bring both support and harm to my body. So digestion system, digestion system, digestion. Okay.
All right, and the last one we have to showcase today is Stress Away. So we're matching on the last bottle. How cute. This one needs no introduction. It does exactly what it says it does. It keeps the stress away. So this one, it's a bonus oil that comes in the premium starter kit. So when you get your premium starter kit, it's going to be in that big box that Akima showed. This is going to be laying flat, and there's a flap underneath. You have to remove this, get to the bottom of the box to find this little jewel. This is another one to keep. This one is a really unique oil because it also has vanilla in it as well as lime. And
Mhm.
so that kind of gives it a different aroma. This one grew on me. The first year was not a fan of Stress Away, but it has definitely grown on me. It has a blend of copaiba, lime, cedarwood, vanilla, lavender, and the sweet citrus vanilla scent. And you keep it in your purse. I would not recommend you keep oils in the car, especially the heat wave that we just had here in this DMV. Never a good idea to keep these in the car. Leave these in your purse, in your pocket, at your desk. When the coworker is coming to you and you have a group project, they haven't done what they're supposed to do, pull this bad boy out before you go meet with them. But you know, it's really good to have at all times. And so I know, guys, this was a lot of information. We have been really inundating you, but sometimes when you are really learning and you're really trying to make a shift in your lifestyle, eliminate toxins from your food, from your cleaning products, from your hygiene products, it takes a while to gather the information, to present the information. You're going to have to hear this kind of presentation several times before it really starts to sink in. And, you know, you make small changes one at a time. You know, I didn't throw everything away when I started with oils. I just kind of let it all fizzle out, and I just didn't replace it and buy it anymore. And so it definitely is a journey. And again, as we said, we have another private Facebook education group for members who join our team with Young Living, that we do lots more one-on-one, so you don't feel like okay, I got this box now, what am I supposed to do? We also have a YouTube channel called She
Mhm.
Oils, so you can definitely check that out. It's in its infancy stages, but go ahead and get that subscribership up. We're going to dump videos like this as well to have it in multiple places, not just on one particular platform.
Mhm.
And so I will, Miss Akima, let you go ahead and close it out.
Hey, listen, I just want to thank everybody. I see it, I see it, I see it. Yes, someone's calling us Proverbs 31 women. Thank you so much, sir. I just want to thank everyone who's watched it. I mean, yes, it's a lot of information, but guess what? No one's taught us how to take care of ourselves, okay? Like, we're just out here jacked up and falling apart. And so anybody who's watching this who knows me knows you already knew this video was going to be at the length that it's going to be at. And so I just want to tell you that you are worth the investment. You are worth the time investment. You are worth the financial investment. You are worth it. And we think you're worth it too. So those who are local to the DMV, she plugged our private group that we do for our members. If you're local to the DMV, we also do a meetup every first Saturday of the month at Panera Bread in Bowie Town Center. So now that you know what we look like, please just show up and you'll see myself, Shanita. Just come sit with us, come introduce yourself. If you already know us, then you just need to get with us so that we can assist you so you can support yourself and your family. And we're going to do a part 2 to kind of close up because there's even more stuff that's in this box that we didn't even get to go to. And that's okay. We're going to jump back on here at some point. You'll see an event. Please share this video with whomever you think needs to hear it. And Peace out. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.